Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Caritāmrta audio class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे मेरे विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. We are discussing from Chaitanya Caritāmrta. We are on Madhya. We are on chapter 8, talks between Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. So far we have discussed how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas, and on the request of Shachi Devi, he moved to Jagannath Puri. Along with him, Nityanand Prabhu, Jagadananda Pandit, Mukunda, and Damodar Pandit, they all came. There he met, he transformed, delivered Sarabhaum Bhattacharya, made him into a great devotee. And then, after staying for a few days, he said, I want to go to find my brother, Vishwarup. Although he is Supreme Lord, he is Paramatma in everyone's heart, he knows that Mahaprabhu, his elder brother, has already left this world in Pandharpur, but still, he wanted to deliver the entire South India. So he took permission from all the devotees. Everyone was telling that, please take me with you. Nityanand Prabhu was telling, I have been to all the places in South India. I'll guide you nicely. He says, no, you broke my danda. I don't want to take you. And this Jagadananda, he always wants to make me enjoy sense gratification. And this Mukunda, he doesn't say anything, but he really laments and he really feels sad when I do austerity. And this Damodar Pandit, he chastises me. So I don't want to take anyone. But then on the request of Nityanand Prabhu, he said, okay, I'll take one person. They gave Kal Krishna Das. Then Mahaprabhu, he met with Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, and he, on his request, he spent few more days at his home, and then he left. And wherever he went, and Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, that when you go to South India, please meet रामानंद राय. रामानंद राय आछे गोदावरी तीरे, अधिकारी होए तेहो विद्यानगरे. शूद्र विषय ज्ञाने उपेक्षा ना करिबो, आमार वचने तारे अवश्य मिलिबो. Consider him to be a Shudra, please meet Ramanand Rai. He is a great devotee. Earlier we would make fun of him, calling him as Vaishnava, but now I can understand by your mercy his glories. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he starts his travel, and on his way he delivers villages after villages. Then he reaches Vidyanagar. On the bank of Godavari, he met with Ramananda Rai. And as soon as he saw, because Ramananda Rai is Vishakha and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, so Kaviraj Goswami says it is a supreme love which again arises. So they spontaneously get, attracted and affectionate for each other. Both they embrace and display symptoms of ecstasy. But they see that all these Brahmanas who are surrounding Ramananda Rai, they are getting bewildered. They are thinking, why this sannyasi is embracing a Shudra? And why this governor is, behaving in such a restless way? He was considered as a very sober person. So Vijatiya Loka Dekhi Prabhu Kaila Samvaran. He controlled his ecstasies, and then they decided to meet later. So we had discussed till 57th verse of the sage Ramananda Rai. He tells, I'll come and meet you later. He comes in the evening, offers obeisances, and then in a secluded place, Ramananda Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu start discussing Krishna Katha. So we have discussed till verse number 56. So now, in the 57th verse, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he tells Ramananda Rai, Prabhu kahe pada shloka sadhyara nirnay, Rai kahe swadharmacharane Vishnu bhakti hoy. So Mahaprabhu is requesting, recite a verse from the scriptures concerning the ultimate goal of life. Pada shloka sadhyara nirnay. What is the ultimate goal of life? Please recite that verse. And Ramananda Rai, he says, Swadharma Acharan. So this section is a very wonderful section where Ramananda Rai, he'll keep on telling one after another various verses. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will keep on saying, Eho Bahya, it is external, please speak something more. And then after hearing some very nice thing, he says, yes, this is there, Eho Hai. But still I want to hear more. And then after hearing something more, he says, Eho Uttam, this is the best thing, but still please speak more. Ultimately, Ramananda Rai describes Prem Bhakti. So he begins with Swadharma Acharan. He says, Swadharma Acharane Vishnu Bhakti Hoy. If one executes the prescribed duties of his social position, naturally, the original Krishna consciousness arises in the heart. So Prabhupada writes, as a great saint, Parashar Muni, the father of Vyasdev, he has described, devotional service can be awakened by the discharge of duties in accordance with Varnashram system. This Varnashram system, as mentioned by Ramananda Rai, Prabhupada is quoting from Parashar Muni's scripture, that he also says that the love of God can arise. Original Krishna consciousness can arise if one practices his own occupational duty according to the Varnashram. And this Varnashram system is made by Supreme Lord himself. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I have made this Varnashram according to the gun and karma. In the 18th chapter again, Krishna says, Sve sve karmanya bhiratah sansiddhim labate naraha swakarma niratah siddhi yatha vindati tachano. If one continues to engage in his occupational duties, sve sve karmani abhiratah, ultimately they will attain perfection. Sansiddhi labate naraha. So that's how whatever occupation a person is doing, swakarmana tam abhyarchya. Worship the Supreme Lord, staying in one's occupation. And then Ramananda Rai quotes a verse from Vishnu Puran, very famous verse. Varnashram acharvata purushena parpuman Vishnu aradhyate pantha nanyat tattosha karanam. One must be situated in the institution of 4 varnas and 4 ashram. Varnashram acharvata. And in this institution, Purushena Parah, one should worship the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Vishnu Aradhyate. That is the ultimate goal of Varnashram. Na anyatatosh karanam. And there is no other way to satisfy the Lord than this. If one continues to follow the Varnashram system and worships the Supreme Lord, that's the best way. Prabhupada quotes a verse from Bhagavatam. Atah kumbhir dvijasreshta varnashram vibhagashah swanushchitasya dharmasya sansiddhir haritoshanam. All the rules and regulations of Varna and Ashrama, they are meant for one purpose. Samsiddhir haritoshanam. That is the ultimate purpose of following the Varnashram duties. Otherwise, it is Shrama Evahi Kevalam. If somebody is not pleasing the Lord, it is just a waste of time. Because by Varnashram, one may go to the heavenly planets, but ultimately again he'll come down. And if one does not follow Varnashram, he'll go to the lower species of life. Prabhupada writes, those who properly execute the prescribed duties live peacefully and not disturbed by material conditions. If one executes his prescribed duty in both social and spiritual orders, then Supreme Lord is satisfied. Lord is not just satisfied if somebody just takes care of the material duties properly. That's what people think nowadays. I'm doing my duty properly, I'm maintaining my family, I'm maintaining society, I'm maintaining country. Lord is not pleased by that so much. Varnashram ata kumbhir dvija sreshta varnashram vibhagashah swa anushchitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. If haritoshanam is not happening, if somebody is not pleasing the Lord, then it is all waste of time and energy. And Prabhupada writes, ultimately he'll go to hellish conditions. So therefore, Prabhupada says, to attain perfection, one must take to devotional service. There should be no confusion. Oh, Varnashram. Ramananda is saying Varnashram is the best way. But Varnashram is meant for pleasing the Supreme Lord. Why to go the long way if the short way is given? And Prabhupada will describe about this. So now after hearing Mahaprabhu, he says, Prabhu kahe eho bahya aghe kah ar, Rai kahe Krishna karmarpana sarva sadhya sar. So Varnashram, it is like copper among the metals. And now Ramananda is giving a higher understanding of Krishna karmarpana. Whatever you are doing, do it for Krishna. Offer the results of one's activities to Krishna. That is the essence of all the scriptures. That is the essence of perfection. Sarva sadhya sar. That is like a little higher type of metal, bell metal. And then Ramananda quotes a verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna is himself advocating this Krishna karma arpana. Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yat juhoshi, danasiyat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, whatever you give in charity, whatever tapasya you do, you should offer the results of all of those things to the Mad Arpanam. So that is the understanding of Krishna Karma Arpanam. That is Bhakti Mishra Karma. Okay, at least. And that is Karma Mishra Bhakti. At least offer the results to me. Prabhupada writes, the Lord said that Varnashram system is not properly executed in Kali Yuga. It is very difficult to follow Varnashram. And therefore he requested Ramananda Rai, please go further. And Ramananda Rai, he is telling, so Prabhupada writes, he first enunciated the principle of Varnashram, but it is materialistic. It is not transcendental. It is just related to the material world. All this Varnashram system is materialistic system. And as long as one is in material world, one cannot follow principles And as long as one is in material world, Prabhupada writes, one must follow varnashram. But devotional service is not material. That's the difference between following varnashram and following bhakti. Varnashram is material. If we are in this material world and not connecting ourselves to the Lord, then we have to follow varnashram. But devotional service is transcendental. And a person who is practicing devotional service does not have to practice all those things of varnashram. Prabhupada writes, very, very interesting and important purport. Prabhupada writes in the 60th verse, he says, Mahaprabhu belongs to spiritual world, and his methods for propagating Sankirtan movement are also imported from the spiritual world. Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtan Ratina Janmilo Kenetay. This Harinam Sankirtan, it is not of this world. This is imported from the spiritual world. Golokera Premdhan. When Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Prataprudra Maharaj, they are standing on the palace of Prataprudra, and they are seeing the devotees from Navadip coming to Jagannath Puri for the first time. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had not seen these devotees. He is completely wonderstruck, seeing these devotees hearing, dancing, chanting. And he is asking, Oiche prema, oiche nritya, oiche hari dhvani, kaha nahi dekhi ara, kaha nahi shuni. Oh Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, oh my spiritual master, I have never seen such singing, such chanting, such dancing. What is this? Bhattacharya kahe madhura vachan, Caitanya srishtiye prema sankirtan, Sankirtana yagya tare kore aradhan, Seta sumedha arav koli hotojan. This is the creation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu has created it in this spiritual world, and he has brought it from there only. Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtan. So therefore, Prabhupada writes, considering the position of devotional service and Sankirtan movement, Mahaprabhu considered this varnashram to be material. Although ultimately it brings one to spiritual platform, but it is a long process. But Sankirtan movement immediately brings one to the spiritual platform. And then Prabhupada writes a little more detail. Why Mahaprabhu is telling Ramananda Rai to go to explain more. He says sometimes there are some materialists, they consider Lord Vishnu to be material. And some Mayavadis, they also consider Vishnu is above Lord Vishnu is Brahman. So therefore they misunderstand the worship of Lord Vishnu. So Mahaprabhu, in order to establish the supremacy of the process of devotional service, he is requesting Ramananda Rai, please go further. Vishnu Aradhana is not material. But if we have material conceptions, then it becomes material. Dharma sunashtita pumsam vishwaksena katha suyaha na utpadyare ratim yadi shrama evahi kevalam. By all our occupational duties, if somebody is not developing attraction for the Lord, it is waste of time and labor. So Mahaprabhu rejects Krishna Karmarpana also. Prabhu kahe eho bahya aage kaho ar. Now, Ramananda Rai introduces the next level of understanding. Swadharma tyag. Ramananda Rai kahe swadharma tyag e sadhya sar. So Ramananda Rai says, to give up one's occupational duty in the varnashram system, that means to renounce the activities. That is the essence of perfection. So a Brahmana may renounce the family. Kshatriya and Vaishya may also renounce the family. That is called as karma tyag. Prabhupada writes, such renunciation is called as karma tyag. And by such renunciation, Supreme Lord is satisfied. But Prabhupada says, in contrast, the process of renouncing the results of one's activities, the offering to Krishna is not uncontaminated. It has some contaminations. What is the contamination? The contamination is, although one recognizes Krishna as a supreme, but still, this personality continues to perform activities on a material platform. So his activities remain material. So he may offer the results to Krishna, but his activities remain material. So therefore, it is not the highest understanding of perfection. So therefore, Mahaprabhu considered that this is also external. So now, to correct this, Ramananda is introducing another concept, Swadharmatya. He says one should take to renounced order of life. Give up family attachments, follow the renounced order of life. And he quotes a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 11th chapter, 32nd verse. He says, sorry, just a minute. So now Ramananda Rai, he is introducing the next concept. He's saying one should renounce the activities. One should renounce the work itself. Agyayeva gunan doshan mayadishtanapi swakan dharman santajya sarvan mam bhajet sacha sattamaha. Agyayevam. If somebody analyzes, he can understand the qualities and the faults of occupational duties. Guna and dosh he will understand. So what he does? Mayadishtan, I have given these occupational duties in the scriptures, but there are some good qualities and there are some faults in the occupational duties. Every occupation has some fault and every occupation has some good quality. Just like Kshatriya has to kill. That is the fault. Good qualities, he protects people. Vaishya, what is the fault? He has to tell lies. It is everyone's experience, when we go to the shop, the shopkeeper says, "आपके लिए मैं सस्ता दे रहा हूं बस." वो सबको यही बोलता है. And Prabhupada says, if he doesn't say that, he will not be able to sell his product. That is a fault. Good quality. Okay, he can maintain Brahmanas, he can help the propagation of Krishna consciousness. Brahmana, there is a fault. Sometimes he has to also, kill animals in sacrifice. Of course, to revive them back. So therefore, Krishna says in this verse, Agyayevam gunan doshan, there are good qualities and there are faults in any occupation duty. So, dharman santyajya sarvan, one gives them up completely. And he worships me, mam bhajet. That personality is first class man. So that is Swadharma Tyag. And then he quotes another verse from Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Very famous verse from Bhagavad Gita 18.66, where Krishna is saying, just abandon all varieties of religion, surrender unto me, I will protect you. So Prabhupada quotes a very, very interesting verse from Raghunath Das Goswami's book called as Mana Siksha. Na dharmam shruti gana niruktam kila kuru braje radha krishna prachura paricharya mihatanu. So in that he's saying, na dharmam, na adharmam. We should not perform religious or irreligious activities which are prescribed in scriptures. So that is very interesting. Okay, we can understand irreligious things we should not do. Why it is said that one should not do religious activities also? The purpose is not to focus on religious activities. We have to go beyond religious activities, and what we have to do? Braje Radha Krishna Prachur Paricharya. Engage always in service of Radha and Krishna. That is the perfection of life. So give up all the activities and just serve Radha and Krishna. Another verse he quotes from 4th canto Bhagavatam, where Narad Muni is telling to Prachina Barhi, when one actually takes to loving service of the Lord, he gives up all the material duties. He gives up all the duties mentioned in the scriptures also. That means any duty which may be material and it is not so much conducive for the practice of Krishna consciousness, he gives up that. So that is the understanding of Swadharma Tyag. Mahaprabhu is not satisfied with this also. Prabhu kahe ho bahya age kaho aar. He says, please speak little more. Say something more. And now, Ramananda introduces the next level of understanding. Rai kahe jnana mishra bhakti sadhya sar. Devotional service which is mixed with empiric knowledge. Gyan, mixed with gyan. That is the essence of perfection. Prabhupada writes in the purport. Certainly, if somebody is practicing devotional service which is mixed with non-Vedic knowledge, that is of course impure. But devotional service mixed with knowledge, that is what Ramananda is introducing here. Prabhupada quotes Saraswati Thakur. He says, self-realization following the execution of ritualistic ceremonies is in the neutral stage. So this Gyan Mishra Bhakti, it is a neutral stage, he says. It is a neutral stage between liberation and conditioned life. And Prabhupada describes in detail about Virja Nadi, which is outside the material world, but it is not the spiritual world also. So he says Virja Nadi or Brahmaloka, these two places are the places where living entities who are really disgusted with the material world, they go. They just want peace in life. But these places are not in the Vaikuntha. They are not spiritual. So therefore, Mahaprabhu, he tells also Eho Bahya, Prabhupada writes, without spiritual knowledge, simple detachment from material condition is but another side of material existence. If we are just getting detached from the world and not developing the spiritual knowledge, that is just another material existence itself. So this Gyan is not the Gyan of the Lord. This Gyan is Gyan about this world and the Gyan about the impersonal, Brahman. That is still material, because still you are not entering Vaikuntha. You are still on the outskirts of Vaikuntha. So therefore it is still external. So when Mahaprabhu rejected the proposal, Ramananda is suggesting this devotional service based on philosophy and logic. That is Gyan Mishra. So earlier, Mahaprabhu rejected the understanding of Swadharma Tyag. Now he is presenting, Ramananda is presenting this principle of Jnana Mishra Bhakti, and Mahaprabhu will reject that also because it is still material. He quotes a verse, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kakshati samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhakti labhate param. Bhagavad Gita describes this, that those who are Brahman realized, then after getting Brahman realization, then they take to devotion. So till the time they don't take to devotion, they are not exactly into spiritual circle. They may be detached from the world, but they have not entered the spiritual world. So therefore Mahaprabhu rejects that also. Prabhu kahe eho pahya aage kaho ar. Aage kaho. So Swadharma, Varnashrama, Swadharma Acharan, that is like copper. Then Krishna Karmarpana, that is like bell metal. Swadharma Tyag is like silver. And then he introduced Gyan Mishra Bhakti, that is gold. But Mahaprabhu rejects gold also. Now, Ramanandra introduces the next concept. Rai kahe Jnana Shunya Bhakti Sadhyasar. Jnana Shunya Bhakti, pure devotional service without any tinge of speculative knowledge. That is the essence of perfection. Prabhupada writes, it is like touchstone. Gyan Shunya Bhakti is the touchstone where actual devotional service begins. Prabhupada writes, he quotes Saraswati Thakur. Devotional service mixed with speculative knowledge is also external. Eho Bahya, Gyan Mishra Bhakti is also external. A living entity who wants to be completely pure must be above this material conception. No place for material Gyan, no place for even Kevala Gyan, no place for Atma. Okay, Atma Gyan is still there, but Kevala Gyan is not at all included. Just negation of material existence does not mean one enters the spiritual existence. That is what these Gyanis, they do. They do neti, neti, neti. They are just interested in no, 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 saying no to the material world. That is not spiritual still. Prabhupada writes, until one comes to the stage of actually understanding one's relationship with the Lord, he cannot enter into spiritual life. And therefore, Mahaprabhu he told Ramanandra, please explain something more. I want to hear something transcendental. Now Ramanandra is introducing the transcendental aspect, Jnana Shunya Bhakti. And he quotes a verse from prayers of Brahmaji. Very famous prayer. Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya varta sthane sthita shrutigata tanuvan manobhi ye prayasho jitajito taistrilokyam Jnane prayasam udapasya. After abandoning all the discussions of empiric knowledge, speculative knowledge, Jnane prayasam udapasya. So devotees, they have thrown away this impersonal knowledge. They are not interested. What they are doing? Namanta eva. They are offering obeisances to the Supreme Personality. And what are they doing? Bhavadiya. They are hearing from the self-realized devotees what? The name, form, pastimes, qualities of the Lord. Jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya varta. They are following all the regulative principles. They are hearing from the devotees the name, form, pastimes, qualities of the Lord. And Sthane sthita shrutigata tanuvan manobhi. Sthane sthita. Surrendering themselves fully with the body, mind and words. Tanu, vak, mana. Body, words and mind. Wherever they are, sthane sthita. As Mahaprabhu told this Kurma Brahman, Stharvaya gharaya naho batul kame krame pailok bhavasindukul. That's what he told Raghunath Das Goswami. He told the Kuruma Brahman, wherever you are, please stay there. Achirate Krishna Tomai Karibe Angikar. And what will happen by this? Ye prayasho ajita jitopi. The Supreme Lord, who is Ajita, he is also conquered by such people. That is the highest platform of pure devotion. At this stage, Mahaprabhu says, Eho hai. Prabhu kahe, Eho hai, aage kaho ar. Now he wants to hear more. I accept this. That's all right. But still, can you speak more on this subject? Now, Ramanandra introduces the stage of Vaidhi Bhakti. And in that, Prema. So, Prema Bhakti, in that, he introduces two levels. Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. So, Rai Kahe Prema Bhakti Sarva Sadhya Sar. Ecstatic love for God is the essence of all perfection. So, Prabhupada writes, devotional service, pure devotion cannot be attained by empiric philosophy. Anya abhilashita shunyam, jnana karma adi anavritam. So this is untouched by any fruitive activity. And in this, one surrenders the results of all the activities. And one gives up all the karma and jnana. That is anya abhilashita shunyam. So these devotional activities in the neophyte stage, they may appear impure, and that is the stage of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. And when this stage gets mature, then one comes to Raga Bhakti. So Ramanandra, he speaks two verses from Padyavali, written by, this is a compilation by Rupa Goswami. So he speaks two verses. Nanopachara krita pujanamartha bandho prem naiva bhaktaridayam sukha vidrutam syat yavat shudasti jathare jaratha pipasa tavat sukhaya bhavato nanubhakshya peye. He says, as long as there is hunger and thirst, shut and pipasa, if there is hunger and thirst, then one likes to eat variety of food and one feels happy. If there is hunger, if there is thirst, one can eat lots of food, one can drink various types of liquids and one will feel happy. Similarly, when Lord is worshipped with love, then whatever activities one does, it nourishes the heart and one automatically feels blissful. So that is sadhana bhakti. Gradually, this process of worshipping the Lord awakens the love in the heart, which is dormant there. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya ka bunoy, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karoye Uday. That is sadhana bhakti. And then he quotes 14th verse from this Padyavali, which describes Raga Bhakti. And the very famous verse, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati Kriyatam Yadi Kutopi Lapyate Tatra Laulyam Api Mulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Sukritirna Labhyate. Krishna Bhakti Ras, pure devotional service and Krishna consciousness, cannot be had even by the price, even by the pious activities of hundreds of lifetimes. Janma koti sukriti na labhyate. One cannot get this raga bhakti by pious activities of hundreds of lifetimes also. Then what is the price we have to pay? Only one price. Tatra laulyam api mulyam. The intense greed which a Rag Bhakta has, That's the price to get this Raga Bhakti. So in Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, there is no intense greed. A sadhana bhakta practices all these principles because he has been told and he has read and he has accepted it through his intelligence. There is no spontaneous attraction. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sa sadhana vidhanitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam riti sadhyata. When we engage our senses in service of the Lord, then the bhava which is there in the heart arises. No spontaneous attraction. But a bhava bhakta or raga bhakta, he has intense greed. Prabhupada writes, an example of spontaneous action is a river flowing towards the ocean. That is natural for a river to flow towards the ocean. Doesn't have to, think about it. The river doesn't have to be told, okay, now you have to flow towards the ocean. It is natural for the river to flow towards the ocean. Just like Kunti Maharani, she speaks a verse. Tvai me ananya vishaya mater madhupate sakrit ratimudvahata daddha gange vogham udanvati. Just like Ganga flows towards the ocean, let my consciousness flow towards you, O my Lord. That is spontaneous raga. So Mahaprabhu has accepted this Jnana Shunya Bhakti, and now Ramananda is telling Prema Bhakti. So this, even in now again another level of understanding, in Prema, there are various levels of gradation. Of course, Prabhupada writes and Kaviraj Goswami also writes that all these various levels, they are perfect in one sense. But if we see from a neutral point of view, we'll see a gradation. Every devotee at whatever level they are in, they are happy and satisfied. But if we see from a neutral perspective, we'll see there is a gradation of understanding and intensity in these rasas. Prabhu kahe eho hai aage kaho ar, Rai kahe dasya prema sarva sadhya sar. Eho hai. Oh, this is very wonderful. You have described the spontaneous love of God. Wonderful. Can you please tell me a little more? Now Ramananda Rai says, Dasya Prem. Spontaneous, loving service in servitude. Dasya Bhav. That is exchange between master and servant. That is the highest perfection. So Prabhupada writes, at the level of Prema, there is a spontaneous loving relationship between the Lord and a devotee. And this spontaneous devotion has a very, very innate rasa of mamata. In Prema, there is mamata. The definition of Prem Bhakti, which Rupa Goswami says, Mamatvati atishayankitaha. There is intense mamata. In Sadhana Bhakta, the Sadhak Bhakta says, I am Lord's servant. A Bhav Bhakta, Raga Bhakta, what he says? Lord is my master. That is called as Mamta. The meaning may be same, but the rasa is different. Mine. Lord is mine. That is Mamta. That Mamta begins with Dasya Prem. Prabhupada writes. This intimacy is called Mamata. Between the servitor and the served, there is feeling of oneness. He's mine. He's my master. And he quotes another verse from Bhagavatam. Yannama shruti matrena puman bhavati nirmalaha tasya tirtha padah kimva dasanam avashishyate. Yannam Shruti Matrina, by hearing the names of the Lord, Kuman Bhavati Nirmala, one becomes completely purified. Tasya Tirth Padah Kim Va. What to speak of those who have attained the lotus feet of the Lord in the mood of Das Bhav? What to speak of them? Kim avashishyate? Dasanam avashishyate. So what, there is nothing else remaining to be attained for such devotees who have attained Dasya Bhav. For them, Lord is my master. This verse is spoken by Durvasa Muni to Lord Vishnu in the context of Amrish Maharaj. Dasya Bhav. Another beautiful quotation he is citing from Yamunacharya's book called as Stotra Ratna. Another famous verse Prabhupada would quote many times. Bhavantameva anucharam nirantaram prashanta nishesha manorathantaram kadaham ekantika nitya kinkaram praharshayishyami sanatha jivitam bhavantam eva anucharam nirantaram. O my Lord, bhavantam, you, eva anucharam, by serving constantly, nirantaram, prashanta, one becomes completely pacified. Nishesha manorathantaram, one becomes free from all the material desires. All the disturbances of the mind are stopped by serving the Lord constantly. Kadahame kantika nitya kinkaram. So this devotee is praying, oh my Lord, when I shall engage as your eternal servant. Praharshayishyami sanatha jivitam. Because in that situation, I will feel always joyful. Sanatha. Now I am anath. I have no master. I am tossed from this person to that person. And as Rupa Goswami cites a verse, Kamadinam katina katida palita duranidesha tesham jata maina karuna natrapano utsrijya edanath yadupate sampratam labda buddhi tvamayatah sharanam abhayam mam nyungshvatmadasye. Devotees offering his prayer, oh my Lord, I have served millions of masters and millions of lifetimes. And who are these masters? My senses, my anarthas. But they are such ungrateful masters. They have not given me peace, relief, retirement from service. Any master of this world will also give retirement after few years of service, few decades of service. Tesham jata maina karuna, no compassion, no trapa, no relief, no upashanti, no peace. Utsrijya etan adayadupate. My Lord, now I have given up the service to my senses. I have given up all those masters and now I have taken your shelter, O my Lord. Praharshayishyami sanatha jivitam. We have intellectually understood it, but still, because of our conditionings, we are not able to do so. So this verse, the devotee is praying, when will I engage in your service, O my Lord? When will I become sanatha? Kadaham ekantika nitya kinkaram. When will I engage in your service constantly and I'll become joyful? Praharshayishyami. That is the only place where a devotee can find, a person, living entity can find permanent joy. Otherwise, all the other places, all the masters, they'll only give pain. They'll only give misery. Prabhu hears, he says, oh, you have spoken such wonderfully. Prabhu kahe hu hai kichu age aar, Rai kahe sakhya prem sarva sadhya sar. You have spoken such wonderfully. Can you go a little further? Now Ramanand Rai goes one step higher. From Dasya Prem to Sakhya Prem. Loving service to Krishna in fraternity, that means friendship. That is the perfection. And Prabhupada writes, in master-servant relationship, there is a fear. Servant is fearful. Oh, will my master like this service? Oh, will he be pleased with my service? There is a fear. But when a devotee rises higher, he has nothing to fear. All the friends of Krishna, they are not fearful of Krishna. That is called as Vishrambha Sakhya. Vishrambha Sakhya means when there is no understanding of the supremacy of Krishna. Sakha more shuddha bhave skandhe arohan. Sakha more sakhya bhave skandhe arohan. Tumi kona badaloka tumi amasam. All the friends of Krishna, they climb on the shoulder of Krishna, they fight with Krishna, they wrestle with Krishna, defeat Krishna, and whatever big person you are, yesterday only I defeated you. And Ramananda quotes the words from Bhagavatam, describing the wonderful position of the Sakhya Bhava, the devotees, the cowherd boyfriends of Krishna. As cowherd friends are returning with Krishna from the forest, Shukdev Goswami speaks, don't think they are ordinary people. Don't think they are ordinary children playing with Krishna. They have acquired this position after many, many lifetimes of devotion. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena sakam vichahro kritapunya punja. This position which these simple looking cowherd boys have attained, it is not attained by doing all the tapasya which jnanis do to enter Brahman. Nor those who are engaged in devotional service, who accept Krishna as their master, they can also not attain this position. And of course, what to speak of people who are under the clutches of material energy, Maya Shritana. They think Krishna is an ordinary person. That is not in the question only. Please understand, Sardham Vijaharu Krita Punya Punja. These boys have attained this position after many, many lifetimes of devotional credits. That is called as Dasya. Sakhya, higher than Dasya. So, Rupa Goswami, Ramananda continues further description. We'll stop here. We'll continue next time from the Vatsalya Prem. He'll say, Ramananda will describe. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Shla Prabhupada ki jai, Shla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Shri Caitanya Caritāmrta ki jai.